Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a late night chat with Lonnie. Big week for this week, for me at least, and I hope it was for you too. I had two big events happen on this past Thursday, and I took time. I didn't come out and immediately come out with a review because I wanted to be fair, and I wanted to let it sink in, and then I wanted to go back and rewatch it and see how everything turned out. Okay, so tonight I'll be doing one of the two things from this week, which I made a big deal about. Excuse me, I'm still fighting this thing cold. But I made a big deal about it. This past Tuesday, October 30th, was the official release of Demo Reel. Demo Reel from that guy with the glasses. And I'll first go off by saying that from what I can understand, there are a lot of mixed reactions. There are probably more negative. By far, there are more negative than good and positive reactions, I can assure you. But I want to dive into it and give you my thoughts behind it and how I think you might want to take it as well. So first off, I'm going to be right here with you. Is the first episode, The Dark Knight Begins Rising, is what they do. They remake the the Chris Nolan Batman films. Is it good? Not particularly. I mean, the jokes are really hit or miss. I love the Donnie Dupree character. I love his narcissism. I love in the opening when he goes, there's the director, and the actor, and the director, and the writer, and the director, and the caterer. And then, and that was funny. That was really funny. I like the Tacoma Narrows guy, the black guy. I like his impressions. That guy really gets it kind of on the nose. When he does his Billy D, oh man, that is just spot on. He's got that smooth, suave, sophisticated talk in him, and it works out perfectly. There's nothing really he does that's funny. I guess he's kind of meant to be the straight actor, the straight person of the group. And then there's Rebecca Stone, who's the moron of the group. She acts like a complete idiot. And she has a joke. She says, I'm perfect to play Catwoman because I know how to speak cat. And that's pretty funny. And then we also have the cameramen, Quinn and, Carl Copenhagen. Honestly, maybe they'll start doing more with them, but in this, they weren't necessary. Nor were they really funny, except for the part when Rebecca's going on about her cat sound, and she goes, and the sound for help you put me in a washing machine is, and he goes, how do you know what that sounds like? That was funny. That was funny. Those are the jokes that seem to work, but then there are just some other ones that just completely fall flat. That opening with the Beetlejuice, the Casper, and then the Ghost Dad thing was really dumb. That was not funny. It wasn't clever. It wasn't anything. Now, they saved it when at the end of the scene, she goes, oh yeah, and Bruce Willis is a ghost too. And he's like, what? And then they kill him, the Ghostbusters do. That was funny because you kind of didn't see it coming how she was going to do it, but you knew, hey, he's a ghost too. So that was funny, and it caught him off guard. But the rest of them were completely not funny at all. So, I was, caught up in the hype, and I wanted to believe that this project was going to be better than it was. And many of you had probably the same thought process. You were probably willing to give it a shot, But now I have seen, and I've watched a couple other people's reviews and noticed that they just didn't like the episode. They didn't like the way it was done. They didn't find it funny. They didn't like it. But I want to come to you, and I want to say, remember the Nostalgia Critic. Remember his Transformers review. His first one. When he was running around and kabam, kabam, you know, and it cut. That became Chester A. Bum. So the Nostalgia Critic evolved. It changed because the first episode, he didn't know what he wanted it to be. So, take in account that even Nostalgia Critic, his first episode, became something that we all know and love. You know, it became the Chester A. Bum, and then Nostalgia Critic became an even bigger force when he changed it and, you know, tweaked it and tuned it. So, I say to you, give it a chance. Give it at least like 5 episodes in. By then they should really start hitting their stride and figuring out how they want to go about this and how the joke should work and really about length too. To come right out of the gate with a 47-minute episode, I think it's a bit much. You know, I know he has a loyal fan base, but I think, you know, even I at one point, at least in the first watching of it, I kind of got bored. You know, like the scenes with the Bane, the scenes at Bane and the Arby's. At that point, I was just so bored. I was like, alright, what, you know, I don't get it. Have you ever eaten at an Arby's? Yes. You know, I didn't understand the joke. I didn't get what he meant by Arby's is a completely dead franchise, because it's not in the slightest. So it was kind of a strange joke, and it got a little draggy right there. And that was just one thing. Oh, and the costume changes, that too. It was a premise that kind of started off funny. I didn't like the Mario thing, the Mario costume for the first one, but, you know, as he kept going, I'm a banana. That one was funny, but then it kept going, and then by the time he got to the graph that he's holding in front of his face, and he's like, I'm a homeowner's thing or something, I was like, that's stupid. That's not scary. That's not anything. It's just fucking dumb. It's not funny, you know? And when I say scary, it's not something that people would be afraid of. But it's not funny either. It's not something that I was like, I get it, because I didn't. And then when he cut back to the Mario thing, okay, that was sort of funny, because I was like, he did it again. Because I didn't expect it. That caught me off guard. It made it funny. But all in all, that too kind of was just like, alright. It got to a point where length took over. It's hit or miss for the first episode. Hopefully they get better. Hopefully, because again, they tried to take 3 separate movies and cram them all together. The supervillain shuffle where they... Oh god, that was so dumb. The loop of the Fresh Prince song from the opening, and... and... I mean... It wasn't funny. And the whole Ra's al Ghul thing was pointless. And... the Scarecrow thing was pointless. Hell, even to a point, the the Joker thing, all it did was just from what happened in the second movie of turning Harvey Dent into Two-Face, that part. And when he busts in and saves Harvey Dent, and he goes, Batman! And she goes, Rebecca goes, what? That was funny. That was actually good humor. So, to those of you who've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So hopefully you're not completely lost and I'm going and rambling all over the place, I know. But it's hit or miss. There is something here. They just need to really fine-tune it and make it comedy. And don't do the jokes. Don't do the highbrow jokes, that stock market crash thing, or I don't know. I don't know how to actually explain it. But just don't do the stupid jokes. Don't. And I know comedy is subjective, and I'm sure they put in a lot of effort and time into what they really thought would have been funny, but hopefully from what people have been saying, they can really learn about what was funny and what was not, and keep cranking out something in the weeks to come to perfect it. So, as the Nostalgia Critic went from what became Chester A. Bum to the Nostalgia Critic, hopefully Demo Reel will go from what this is to something much better, whatever that may be. So anyway, I'm going to keep sticking with it for at least a few more episodes, just to see if they get it right. And there's one more thing I want to talk about. And Doug Walker, Nostalgia Critic, this one goes out to you. Bat Jesus is as stupid as the Bat credit card. This has been Lonnie on the Late Night Chat. Thanks, guys.